So, good morning everyone. My name is Lalit Soni and I welcome you all in this live news analysis session of Drishti IAS. So, in this particular session, we'll be talking about today's Indian Express newspaper, and we'll go through the front page and then we'll see some important articles. So, as you must know that I told you even in yesterday's session as well that Supreme Court is about to give their verdict on same-sex marriage. Okay, so they have given their verdict, but the verdict is same-sex marriage has to wait. Supreme Court is not yet ready to give this right. Okay, so Supreme Court has said that right to marriage is not a fundamental right in the Constitution. So they don't have this particular right to marry yet. Okay. After that, we will be talking about some directions which CGI has given against the discrimination against this LGBTQIA plus community. Okay, we will talk about those directions to avoid the discrimination. Okay, then PM spells out ISRO goals. Okay, so PM has in the his session he has given some goals for the ISRO or for the our aspirational space program. He have talked about it. We will talk that in detail. And then we look at some editorials, okay, and then miscellaneous news, and we'll wrap up the session. Okay, so let's start with the first article, that is about the same-sex marriage, and Supreme Court has given this verdict. Okay, the verdict is 3:2 majority, and they have said that marriage is not a fundamental right. Okay, so Parliament can decide on the other rights, but as of now we are giving you only one right, that is right to relationship. Okay, right to relationship. Here it is given that two person can have consensual relationship. Okay, other than that it is also called as civil union. Okay, so Supreme Court has talked about the civil union and right to relationship. There were other issues like changing in the Special Marriage Act. Supreme Court has not done that. They have said that it is the domain of Parliament or the legislature. We should not interfere in that. Okay. Other than that, there was one issue, that is of the adoption. Even in this case also, the majority judgment is that the persons from LGBTQIA plus community cannot, or you can say homosexual couples cannot adopt a child till yet, and there are other things to be managed by the Parliament. Okay, so here you can see in the front page that same-sex marriage will have to wait. Okay, Supreme Court flags right prejudice but refuse to tweak the law for the same-sex union. Okay, say they have recognized that they have rights, they have recognized that there is prejudice among the society against them, but right now they do not have this particular right. Okay, this is all about same-sex marriage on the front page. There is one article, PM spells out ISRO goals. We'll discuss that also. Okay. So this is what we have discussed. Justice Bhatt, Justice Kohli and Justice Narasimha, they have given the majority judgment and they have refused to give right to marriage to people of same sex in a relationship. Okay, and then there was minority judgment by CGI and the Justice Call. No fundamental right to marry. They have kind of made a consensus on that. They have right to civil union. Okay, we have talked about that. Right to adopt a children jointly, they have said that they have this right, but this is a dissenting judgment, so it doesn't matter. We'll see in the future what happens. Other than that, there was one more mention of Special Marriage Act and the notice period. Okay, in a special marriage act, you have to give a notice of 30 days before going for this particular marriage, but here this issue of 30 days has been discussed in this judgment. They have given a passing reference. So we'll talk about that also in the further slides. Okay, in their judgment they have mentioned some cases which may be important for your prelims, that is Navtesh Johar, KS Puttaswamy, Nalsa Saktivahini and Safin Zahan. These cases they have mentioned. You should remember that these belongs to privacy and these homosexual relationship, etc. Okay, so moving forward, we'll see the key pointers which has been given in the judgment. Okay, the 5-judge bench, including CGI of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, declined to strike down or amend provision of Special Marriage Act. As I told you in the yesterday's session, that there was a petition. They have demanded that the words like husband and wife should be replaced with spouse. And there was another thing, that words like men or woman, male or female, should be replaced with person. Okay, but they said that this is the domain of parliament, we should not interfere in that. Okay, other than that, the court unanimously recognized equal right for queer individual and their protection, calling for public sensitization to prevent discrimination. Okay, in this regard, they have given some directions. We will talk about that in further slides. Okay, then a committee to be constituted under cabinet secretary, and it will define and elucidate the entitlements of the queer people, the rights of the queer people. They will define these rights. This committee will be under the chairmanship of cabinet secretary. Okay, the majority view held that the marriage is a statutory right and not a fundamental right. Even the dissenting judgment also said the same thing, that marriage is not a fundamental right in Indian constitution. Okay, so it's just a statutory right under the different laws of parliament. Okay, and that the same sex couple cannot claim it as a fundamental right under the constitution. So if you cannot claim under it as a fundamental right, so you cannot say that there was a discrimination against their fundamental right. Okay, so that is why they have said that right to marriage is not a fundamental right, and that is why they have denied this right to same sex couple for now. Okay, it should be addressed by parliament and state legislatures. As I told you, these statutory rights or statutory laws are domain of parliament, and they should be the one to address these issues. The judges emphasize that queerness is a natural phenomena. The phenomena of queerness, the things they are going through or the emotions they are feeling, this is a very natural phenomena. You are not supposed to consider it as something of related to urban elites or any kind of disorder or something. These are natural phenomena, and there should not be any stigma attached to it. Okay, we should be kind of accommodative towards such traits. Okay, this is what the judges has said in this particular judgment, and they have emphasized that they have the equal rights. Okay, now that is why they have given some directions. The ruling recognized right to relationship. As I told you, it is also termed as civil union. Under this right, okay, they can choose a partner, they can live with a partner, enjoy the physical intimacy within the purview of Article 21, that is right to life. Okay, so right to life with dignity says that you have right to privacy as well, and in that regard, they have said that they have right to relationship. They can choose their partner and they can live with them. They can enjoy the physical intimacy. Okay, and state and union territories or centers should ensure that they are not been prevented to this particular right under Article 21 of the Constitution. Then the judges differed on the right to queer couple to adopt. Okay, so there is we have CARA guidelines, etc. Okay, Juvenile Justice Act, all these things talks about the adoption related issues, and in these acts it is said that a single woman can adopt a child. Okay, but a queer couple cannot adopt a child. Okay, now in this particular judgment, they have touched this area, and they have said that since queer couple are also at the par with the heterosexual couples, they do not have any heterosexuals do not have any kind of upper edge or something, but the thing is they have denied this right as of now because of the legal structure or legal laws we have in India, because we have not actually provided for these things in the laws yet. And second thing is, there are some issues on the basis of separation. When these homosexual couples separate, there are presumptions, or you can say that they will hurt the interest of the child. So on the basis of that, it is denied that they cannot adopt a child individually. Okay, as a joint couple. As an individual, they can, but the problem is when they as an individual they adopt a child and then they get into a relationship, and then if they separate, what will be the fate of that? And that is the issues. And they have said that this is under the legal framework, what we have, the legal framework what we have should be re-examined because of these certain questions. Okay, so here it is said that the judges differed on the right of queer couples to adopt, with the majority ruling stating that the certain provisions are discriminatory and ultra vires to the constitution. Obviously, if you are saying that the queer people cannot adopt a child, so it is discriminatory. Okay, while the dissenting view argued that the existing legal framework should be re-examined. Okay, after that, the ruling, while not granting legal recognition to the same-sex marriage, acknowledges that the right and protections of individuals, leaving the issues to the parliament for potential legislative changes. So basically they have said that whatever the legal framework we have to re-examine and we have to change the legal framework, that is up to the parliament, but we do recognize the rights of the queer people. So according to that, they have given some guidelines also. Okay, so as of now, we do not have, or you can say queer people do not have the right to marry, but they have right to union, or you can say right to relationship. Okay, they can choose their partner, they can live with them, but they cannot marry them legally. Okay, so now safe house sensitizing police CGI list measures against the discrimination. So that is what we are talking about. There were some guidelines which has been given by the CGI to avoid the discrimination based on only on their gender, etc. Okay. The Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, issued a ruling emphasizing that the recognition of same-sex marriages can only be achieved through legislative route. The ruling includes several directions to prevent discrimination against the queer community, such as, we will discuss the direction one by one. The establishment of the Garima Grahas, okay, or you can say safe houses. These are the safe houses which are to be built at all districts to provide a shelter to queer individuals who are facing some kind of violence, okay, or any kind of discrimination. So they can find a shelter in this Garima Graha, okay. Ensuring that the queer community is not discriminated against due to the gender identity or their sexual orientation, okay. So that is one thing that we have to prohibit the discrimination. Preventing discrimination when accessing goods and services availed to the public. So where if they are availing any kind of public services, or you can say state sponsored schemes, etc., in that case they should not be discriminated because of their sexual orientation or gender identities. Okay, so these are three, and there are few more. Raising public awareness, that is the crucial element here. That is because we still see some kind of stigma against queer community. So we have to raise public awareness so that that thing can go away, okay, and they can live a dignified life, okay. About queer identity, emphasizing that it is natural and not a mental disorder, okay. Even in the judgment they have said that it is very natural phenomena and not a disorder. Hotline numbers. These hotline numbers are to be established to report harassment and violence against the queer community. Prohibiting treatments aimed at changing gender identity or sexual orientation. So there are sometimes they are forced by their guardian, etc., to change this sexual orientation, etc. So such treatment should be prohibited, and we should kind of embrace what they are feeling, okay. Ensuring that intersex children are not forced into operations related to their sex without full comprehension and consent. So that is what I am talking about. There are sometimes they are being forced because of the social stigma, etc. So that should not be the case, okay. So there is a guideline that there should be a prohibition on such operations, etc. Okay, moving forward. Preventing police from forcing queer individuals to return to their natal families. Okay, if the person is kind of facing some kind of abuse, or maybe some mental or you can emotional unavailability in their natal families, police cannot force that person without their consent to go to their home, okay. Conducting a preliminary investigation before registering an FIR against a queer couple to verify if it is a cognizable offense or not, okay. So if you are registering a FIR against a queer couple, you must go through it. There should be a preliminary investigation. After that, there should be a FIR against any queer couple. The ruling rejects the argument that the case is limited to urban elitist view, highlighting the India's rich history of LGBTQ individuals across different religions, caste, and economic backgrounds. You must have heard that in our, text, etc. There are words like kinnar, etc. has been used. Okay, so we had this acceptance before in our religions, etc. So we cannot say that it belong to some elite class or something, urban elitist view or something, but it has a history of it. So we should not discriminate now also. Okay. Other than that, Justice S.K. Kaul supports the need of a separate anti-discrimination law. Okay, as we have laws for SC, SC, etc. For the prevention of some kind of assault against them. So there should be another separate law which is against the discrimination to the queer people. That includes protection against the discrimination based on the sexual orientation. Okay, so S.K. Kaul has talked about a different law altogether to provide protection legally to this queer community. Okay, so that are some kind of directions which has been given by the Chief Justice of India. Okay, in this regard. So we'll see what future holds for this particular issue. But as of now, as I told you, queer community or homosexual couples cannot marry legally. They cannot get a legal status to their marriage. Okay. So I guess that would be all for this particular issue. We'll be discussing this issue in your editorial analysis because obviously this is a significant issue, and in today's editorial, almost every editorial is related to this particular issue. Okay. So keep a tab on that. So let's move forward. Okay. So PM spell out ISRO goals space stations by 2035, India on moon by 2040. Okay, you must know that recently we have sent 2 missions to space successfully. That is, one is Chandrayaan 3. We have touched the south pole of moon for the first time. India is the only country who can perform the soft landing on the south pole. Okay, other than that, this Aditya L1 we have launched it successfully. Okay, it is on the right track as of now. Okay, so India is doing really good on the when we are talking about the field of space. Okay, so now we have more aspirations, so will be talking about those aspirations in this particular article. So 2 new targets for space agency ISRO, that is Indian Space Station by 2035. Okay, and then take first Indian to the moon by 2040. Okay, other than that, there is Venus orbiter mission, Mars lander mission, okay, Gaganyaan mission, that is India's human space flight. Okay, so all these missions are important. You should have some idea about what these missions are about. Okay, other than that, when we are talking about Mars orbiter mission, we have sent our orbiter. So next logical mission, step would be to send a lander on the Mars. Okay, earlier we did not send a lander because we did not have that kind of technology. Okay, we were dependent on Russia, but when Russia took a back step, so because of that we have generated this technology indigenously and then sent the Vikram lander on the moon. Okay, so now we have that technology, we have that capacity. So now next logical our step is to send a Mars lander mission. Okay, so let's see what PM has announced. So PM Modi has announced new space exploration goals for ISRO. First is Bharatiya Antariksh Station, Indian Space Station. Okay, by 2035. This space station will serve as a hub of scientific research and international cooperation in the space. So right now we have this International Space Center. Okay. On the same line, India will have this Bharatiya Antariksh Station. Okay. Other than that, first Indian to touch the moon by 2040, Venus orbiter mission, Mars lander mission. As I told you that we have sent an orbiter in 2014, and since then till 2022 we have been getting data from that particular orbiter. So now next logical step for us is to go for a lander on the Mars's surface. Okay, the focus is on achieving a successful Mars landing as done by US and China. Till now, USA and China are the countries which has landed lander on the Mars. Other than that, Russia has also done that, but their lander kind of stopped working after landing. Okay, so right now when we are talking about successful landing, we are saying that USA and China are the two countries which has sent a lander to the Mars, and now India want to do the same. Okay, moving forward, Gaganyaan mission by 2025. So there are trials going on. There are different apparatus which are being tested right now. Even yesterday's newspaper, there was some article saying that Gaganyaan related, there was one test which has been conducted successfully. India's human space flight program, it is on the track and it is scheduled for the 2025. Okay, Chandrayaan missions, we have sent 3 Chandrayaans. Okay, and the Chandrayaan 3 was a huge success. On the basis of that, on the lines of that, now we are sending next missions, and we are hoping that in the next mission we will be collecting samples from the surface of the moon. Okay, then next generation launch vehicles. Launch vehicles are important to launch a satellite. They depend on there are many factors, actually, the weight, etc. So we are kind of progressing in that direction also. So we are about to make this next generation launch vehicles. Other than that, human centric laboratories and technologies. See, these human centric technologies are important for our crew based mission. If you are sending humans to the space, for those missions these technologies would be kind of important. Okay, so the important technologies like human related launch vehicles, crew escape systems, space suit, crew module, environment systems, etc. These work on all these things are in progress. Okay, so considering all these developments, we can say that India has a lot of aspirations and India has the capacity. Okay, we have sent the message world over that we are capable and we can do that, and we are hoping that more countries can join hand with us. They can use our commercial launching capacities, etc. Okay, so that can be a huge market for India too. Okay, India can provide for the space services, okay, launching services, etc. to the countries which are yet new in the field. Okay, the announced space missions and the goal emphasize on India's commitment to advancing its space exploration initiatives. These developments represent a significant expansion of India's presence and ambition in the space explorations, with a particular focus on crewed mission, lunar, interplanetary exploration, and the establishment of the new space station. Okay, so these are our goals. This is the conclusion we are talking about, that we have aspirations, we have the capacity, and we will be doing that in the future. Okay, so that's all about this particular article. So this is your editorial page. Okay, so when I told you that most of the editorial today are belonging to this particular same-sex issue. Okay, so the court stops short, door is ajar. Okay, that's though Congress cannot see. This is a political kind of editorial which is not important for us. Other than that, this is also about queer marriage. This is also about same-sex marriage. So we will be discussing this particular thing in the editorial analysis section and not here. Okay. Then Special Marriage Act, Supreme Court says smaller bench can look into the issue. So while giving this judgment, they have made a passing reference toward the notice period of 30 days, which is mandatory under the Special Marriage Act. So if you want to marry, you have to give a notice of 30 days, and then that notice would be put on public domain and they will invite any kind of objections. Okay, so in that case, sometimes it happens that when such notice is made in public domain and inviting the objections, that can be a hurdle or obstacle in the marriage. Okay, so there was this thing that should be reconsidered. Okay, so Supreme Court has said that the 30 days notice period is referred to in the section 5 of SMA, which says that parties to marriage are required to give a notice in writing to the marriage officer, okay, of the district in which the at least one of the party resides for the at least 30 days. Okay, so this notice is given 30 days before giving the note. So basically what happens is this 30 days notice you have to give. Before that, you have to live in that particular district for 30 days. Okay, so section 6 says that once the officer receives the notice, he shall publish it in his office conspicuously, inviting the objections to the marriage within 30 days. So then he will publish it in their office, and then they will invite some kind of objection is there. So that can act as a hurdle. So in this particular case also, or in the judgment, they have said that we will be establishing a 2-judge bench, okay, a smaller bench which will look into the matter, and we have to look at a future for that, what is the judgment of this particular thing. Okay, so here, taking this article, the main objective was to tell you that there is a notice period of 30 days in SMAs which can be a hurdle in the marriages. Okay, so that is one thing. Then entry of CNG, e-public transport, crackers ban, all these are suggestions to fight the pollution in NCR. So now the days of the pollution in NCR are back. So it happens that in the month of October, November, December, the pollution problem in the NCR is kind of deadly or severe, you can say. So because of that, Mr. Rai has given some kind of suggestions. In that regard, it is said that you should stop the stubble burning that is happening outside the NCR area, okay, outside the Delhi area. So the problem of this pollution, 30% is caused by Delhi itself. Rest 69% is caused by the nearby area. Okay, so now we have to take steps to curb that particular pollution. What are the steps? Like, we can do one thing, that stop the instance of stubble burning. Other than that, all the industrial units in the NCR that still run on the dirty fuel, switch to PNG. Okay, so this PNG is a environmental friendly fuel, so they are supposed to switch to that. And then electricity in all the housing society in the NCR to prevent the diesel generators. Okay, so we are ensuring that there should be electricity 24/7, so that the use of generators is done at the minimum. Okay, complete ban on firecrackers. Okay, this is Diwali season, so there will be firecrackers, but here it is suggested that there should be a complete ban. We have this complete ban in Delhi. They are suggesting that that should be done in the NCR region. Okay, diverting the traffic, that can be one thing. Okay, when we are talking about all these things, there is anti-dusting campaign. All these things are suggestions you can use in your answer writing as well. When we are talking about the air quality becoming severe, when this problem becomes severe, then there is a graded response action plan. Okay, so this is important for your exam. This graded response action plan, what happens is that when we know that there would be an AQI of 450 or plus, so 3 days before we start with this particular plan, and we restrict the entry of particular vehicles in the area. Okay, only CNG buses and BS6 diesel etc. are allowed, nothing else. So that is one thing to curb the pollution in the NCR region. So this particular thing is related to the pollution in the NCR region, or you can say Delhi region. Okay, so that is all for this article. Then Wahida Rahman conferred with the Dada Saheb Phalke Award. This is not very much important, but since this award is the you can say considered the highest in the national your honor for the contribution to the films. Okay, so that is why you can remember that. Other than that, there are many awards which are been given to Allu Arjun or actress like Alia Bhatt etc. You can go through this article, but this is not as important, but only you can remember this name, Wahida Rahman. She has been given the Dada Saheb Phalke Award. Okay, you can see the picture here. Moving ahead, India, Europe and Middle East Economic Corridor, okay, will create jobs. So Mr. Modi in the summit, that is Global Maritime Indian Summit, said that this particular corridor will create job. Other than that, it will reduce the travel time etc. The the returning time of the shipments etc. that will kind of reduce here. Okay, here it is said that India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor will reduce business cost, increase logistical efficiency and create a large number of jobs. Okay. During the G20 summit, a historical consensus happened for the India, Middle East and the Europe Economic Corridor. Okay. So this was announced in the G20. Other than that, capacity of major ports have doubled. These are some data you can remember because you can use that data. That capacity of major ports have doubled in the last decade. The turnaround time is the when a shipment goes and coming back. That turnaround time of a container vessel in 2014 was around 42 hours, and that is reduced to 24 hours now. So that is a good, you can say, progress when we are talking about logistic efficiency. Okay. Other than that, the coastal shipment traffic has doubled, while the cargo handled by the land waterways and the inland waterways, when we are talking about, that has increased by the 4 times. So when we are talking about the coastal traffic, it is doubled, and inland traffic has increased by 4 times. Okay, so all these things are important for you. Other than that, they have mentioned this particular gift city again in the Ahmedabad, as I told Gandhinagar, as I told you before also. When we are talking about this particular corridor, this is starting from the Mumbai and then UAE and passing through all the Arab countries and then Israel and to the Europe through the Greece. Okay, so this is important because this will be connecting the 3 continents. This is part of Africa, Europe, and then Indian subcontinent. Okay, so that is important for you. It will be you can say good for your global supply chain, or it can act as an alternative to BRI of China. Okay, so that is the ambitious project, but the problem is right now with the war going on in the Middle East, in the Israel Hamas issue. Because of that, the fate of this particular corridor is not sure. When will it start, when will it finish? But this is an ambitious project. If it continues, and if it develops according to time, it will act as an alternative to BRI, and it will be a good global supply chain infrastructure. Okay, so that is about India, Europe, Middle East economic corridor. That is important for us. This is actually a project of Mr. Modi only. Okay, he has announced it in the G20 summit when India was hosting the summit. Why Egypt is taking Gaza's Rafah border crossing shut? Okay, so there is one border or you can one border passing which is on the Gaza Strip area. So here you can see this is the Egypt, this is your Gaza Strip. This area is Gaza Strip. So now there is a problem going on in the Gaza Strip. We know that there is one passing here, that is Rafah crossing. This Rafah crossing is the only opening which leads to the Egypt and not to the Israel. Other than that, every opening, or other than that, all the border is with the Israel only. So that is the only opening which Palestinians can move towards Egypt. But Egypt is keeping this particular crossing shut because of the issue of migration, and there was also this problem of you can say terrorism here, which was suppressed recently few years back. So because of that fear, Egypt is keeping this particular option shut. So now if we are going for any kind of aid or medical aid, etc., that is the only way it can get inside. Okay, so here you can see the Rafah crossing between the Gaza and Egypt is the sole route to aid to enter Gaza directly from the outside Israel. Okay, so other than that, everywhere is Israel. This is the only place from where aid can get into the Gaza Strip. The only exit that does not lead to the Israeli territory. Okay, so that is the Rafah crossing. You can remember this name. They can ask in MCQs, etc. So you can remember this name. Other than that, there is nothing important for this from this article. So remember the name Rafah crossing. It is on the border of Egypt and the Gaza Strip. Okay, so that is why it is important to know. So when we are talking about the world page, there is nothing much. There is a air strike on the hospitals that killed around 500 people. That is what Gaza ministry is saying. Okay. Other than that, we have talked about Putin and Xi Jinping meeting under the BRI summit, which is happening in the Beijing. So that is we'll keep tab on that. What is the outcome? We will talk about it later. So as of now, that is all about the world related issues. Okay. So I guess that is all for this session. We'll wrap up it here. We'll see you in the next session. Till then, have a good day. Thank you.